All right, Coach, back with another week. Blue Blood Report.
That's right.
Guess what? We haven't seen this one
I'm
yet.
telling you, man.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I feel like I should be in Chapel Hill right now.
I'll tell you what, the best part about it is y'all can't see, but he got the 11 loads there going on right there with it too. It's beautiful. Oh, all right, you know what? I'm going to start someplace different this week.
Okay.
We ain't even going to talk. We'll talk about last night's game. So, if you were stranded on an island, you could only take 3 albums. What would they be?
Oh, boy. Oh, man. That's tough. There's so many good ones. Definitely, without question. It'd be Notorious B.I.G. Greatest Hits.
All right.
Definitely would have to take that one. Just to kind of ease my mind and I don't go crazy, I'd probably have to take Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
You know, probably there's the best of Marvin Gaye out there. And then that third one, man, I don't know, man. That third one, it's just so many out there. I'd probably have to say, it'd probably be a Tupac.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, the Machiavelli. Yeah,
Michael Jackson? Where Michael Jackson love you?
Hey, listen, if I'm stranded on an island by myself, I ain't trying to dance to Thriller. I need something that's either gonna make me really crazy or gonna calm me down. And Michael Jackson ain't gonna do it. As great as he is, right? You know, God bless his soul, rest in peace. You know, it ain't gonna be Michael Jackson.
That's great.
All right, Coach, let's talk about
I probably shouldn't have led with that, but it was fresh in my head. I don't know.
Take us through this week's games.
Started out early in the week. We had Colgan conference game at Colgan. Kids came out. I was really worried about us. We had some days off because of the weather,
Right.
so we had to go right into that game with no practice. And so did they.
Sure.
They were in the same boat, but you're always worried about the residual effects of not practicing and then going to try to play. And believe it or not, I hope my kids don't watch this, but we really played really well without practice. So, it crossed my mind, do we just want to not practice? And I'm like, nah.
Oh, see, now you're on John's coaching schedule.
Hey,
See, now you're on his coaching schedule.
That happened last year. We told him to send the kids home.
Right. So we came out, played really, really well, got after it defensively. So we ended up winning that conference game, puts us 4-0 in the conference. We're tied with Hilton right now. We have a big conference game against them on Tuesday. We're both tied for first place, 4-0 in the conference. Then last night we ran into a really tough, talented John Marshall team in the Virginia Preps Classic.
Right.
Shout out to Matt for putting on a great event. Those guys are really good down there in Richmond. They came out, played really, really tough, took it to them in the first quarter. We led after the first quarter. And of course, John Marshall has the #1 player in the country, #1 sophomore in Isaiah Todd, extremely talented kid. But our kids came right out. We took it to them really well in the first quarter. Second quarter, we had a 2-3 minute stretch in the second quarter where we just had some really bad play. Ended up down 5 at halftime, 36-31 I think it was. Came out in third quarter, regrouped, tied the basketball game back up. It was a 1-possession game the entire third quarter up until the last 2 minutes, and then we hit another 2-minute stretch that was just awful, and it buried us to the point where we were down 10 going into the fourth quarter, and we were never able to regroup from that. But our kids came out, they were resilient. They were on, we were on the road, and of course that's John Marshall's backyard, so it was like a home game for them.
Right.
But our faithful showed up. They supported us. Kids gave a great effort. We just came up short. We were just outmanned last night. But it's something that we've got to get better at. We can't go through these stretches of having bad basketball and expect to have to regroup and be able to bounce back every game. Can't do that.
So when you're in one of those stretches where the other team's just on a roll, how do you approach those situations? Is it case by case, or do you you call a timeout quick, or you try to let them go through it? What do you like to do with your team?
Depends on the situation. I tell you, last night, I like to let the kids play through it. Against Colgan, we did the exact same thing against Colgan. I called timeout. We came out of the timeout, and we bounced back really quickly. Last night was probably as much as my fault as it was theirs. I didn't call timeout as quick as I should have. I let it get a little too far. And I'm always concerned about not having timeouts at the end of a game, especially when it appears to be it's going to be a close game.
Right.
You want to have a timeout or two in your pocket to save a possession. So, you know, I outcoached myself last night. I wish I would have called those timeouts a little bit earlier. It may put us in a situation where we wouldn't have been down 10 going into the fourth quarter.
Right.
So, you know, lesson for our kids, lesson for me.
As a coach, you always want your team to be progressing, obviously, as the season goes along.
Sure.
Where do you feel like the team is right now?
I think we're getting better. You know, we talked about turnovers. Turnovers was a big problem for us. You know, a young, inexperienced team is to be expected. We were talking about turnovers for the first half of the season, and we just got to a point we just couldn't get over the hump. Well, the last 3 games we played now, we've really done a very good job of taking care of the basketball. And the term I use is shooting ourselves in the foot. And, you know, last 3 games, we've really cleaned that up. So I think we're headed in the right direction. We got Ray back, our starting point guy. We got 1 of the 3 guys back, so we got another body now. Now it's just about managing kids' time so we don't have kids on the floor for 28, 29 minutes.
Right.
We can, you know, lower their time, which I think is going to take care of some of the other stuff. But I like where we are. You know, our kids give a great effort every single night. They've always come out and given a great effort. We're getting better. You know, we're getting better, and you know, we're getting to that point in the season now where we've got to start playing our best basketball. You know, we're going to play a really tough, talented Hilton team on Tuesday, and it's going to take a great effort, not just a great effort, but we're going to play hard and we're going to play smart. So I like where we are right now.
Yeah. Hilton's got some guys that present some problems.
Sure.
I mean, obviously they made a run last year, but Marcus Stevens, tough out there. What are those games like? Is there as big a rivalry with Hilton as there is with some other schools in the area?
Well, for us, I think a lot of people forget, you know, and a lot of people don't really think about this, but every single night is a rivalry for us. You know, we don't get a night off. You know, we don't get to say, well, okay, you know, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is it forces us not to look ahead. Because we know the team that we're about to play, they're coming for us,
right,
just because of who we are. You know, now, you know, fast forward to Tuesday to Hilton. You know, Hilton's, you know, they're a good, well-coached team. You know, Barry does a great job with those guys. They're going to defend. You know, and Marcus Stevenson, he's such a matchup nightmare. You know, he's a sniper. Yeah. I mean, that kid, he can shoot it really well. But what he's done is he's added to his game. He's able to score at all 3 levels now. And that poses a problem because there's not a lot of kids that can do that. But, you know, our kids are up to the challenge. You know, I think our kids are welcoming the challenge. They're looking forward to it. You know, we're going to take tomorrow and prepare, and then we're going to go out and give our best effort on Tuesday.
Switching gears. Now, last week or 2 weeks ago, you explained to me some sort of breakfast food concoction,
my goodness,
and I was trying to remember it. I need you to tell the tale because I want to make it.
It's if you like to cook on the grill, it's what is called a breakfast fatty. You gotta look this thing up.
I've been called a breakfast fatty. That's a true story. That's a true story.
And it's I'm telling you, it sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen, but what it is just you know, it's about 12 slices of bacon and it's intertwined. And then you take some sausage. You make a big square patty out of the sausage, and then you take some scrambled eggs, put it in the sausage, and you take the sausage and you wrap the eggs, peppers, whatever it is you're going to put in it, then take that wrapped sausage, put it on the bacon, wrap the bacon around it, put it on your grill for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and put you some biscuits in the oven, man.
Do you take Lipitor with that?
You take Lipitor with that?
Let's sprinkle some Lipitor on
I never
mine.
said it was healthy. I just said it's really good.
I want it.
Yeah. Why would you bring that up?
Oh, yeah, I'm hungry.
You're complaining about being hungry. Oh, my goodness. That's what I got to deal with. You know what? Back to we talk about the weather and all that stuff. Obviously, the winter sports get affected by that more than anybody else. You got winter break, and then you got snow and all that kind of stuff. How does that change your approach, or is that something you kind of build in? We know that's at some point during the season that's going to happen.
Well, you got to. One thing that I do, I really pay attention to the weather because you could be planning for a game on Friday night. If the weather comes in on Thursday. If you got weather coming in on Thursday, chances are you're not going to play on Friday night. You're going to wind up playing on Tuesday, or you could play on Saturday. So you've got to kind of juggle your practice to say, okay, we're probably not going to play this team Friday, let's start preparing for this team on Tuesday. But it's a balancing act, you know what I mean? And then the weather in this year, the weather in this case has helped us because of how short we are in terms of bodies. We needed that time off.
Right.
You know, and as a coach, you wouldn't dare just give your kids off. So it forced me to give guys days off, and it's helped us. You know, it's really helped us. So the weather is a factor. It becomes a juggling act. You know, you got to be a weatherman to some degree, just to make sure that you're prepared for whatever game you're going to play next.
Right. Well, before we get you out of here, what we got coming up this week?
That Hilton game.
Big conference game Tuesday versus Hilton. You know, we kind of got an NBA schedule this week because of the weather. We've got big conference game Tuesday against Hilton. Then we have turn around, play a conference game Friday against Garfield, and then a conference game on Saturday against Freedom. So we got 3 conference games in 1 week. So we're gonna have to be sharp. You know, we're gonna have to prepare. We have to be smart about it, you know. But we're up to the challenge. You know, we're used to it, and I think our kids will be fired up and ready to go.
Good.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I've heard nothing since we've bacon. I don't know. The last 2 minutes are a blur. I don't know. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys. Thank you.
We've bacon. Goodness.